My wife had come into the parlor doorway. She stood there wiping her hands on a dish towel and looking at me. "No," he said in a voice that seemed to waver between anger and tears. "She swears." Oh. I still didn't know what he meant, but had no intention of pursuing it. I didn't have to, he did it for me. "She'll be all right, perfectly normal, talking about her flower garden or a dress she saw in the catalog, or maybe about how she heard Roosevelt on the radio and how wonderful he sounds, and then, all at once, she'll start to say the most awful things, the most awful words." "She doesn't raise her voice." It would almost be better if she did, I think, because then you see, then. She wouldn't sound so much like herself. "That's it," he said gratefully. But to hear her saying those awful gutter language things in her sweet voice, "Pardon me, Paul." His voice trailed away and I heard him noisily clearing his throat. Then he came back, sounding a little stronger but just as distressed. "She wants to have Pastor Donaldson over, and I know he's a comfort to her, but how can I ask him?" "Suppose that he's sitting there, reading scripture with her, and she calls him a foul name?" "She could, she called me one last night. She said, 'Hand me that Liberty magazine, you cocksucker, would you?'" Paul, where could she have ever heard such language? How could she know those words? "I don't know. Hal, are you going to be home this evening?" When he was well and in charge of himself, not distracted by worry or grief, Hal Moores had a cutting and sarcastic facet to his personality. His subordinates feared that side of him even more than his anger or his contempt, I think. His sarcasm, usually impatient and often harsh, could sting like acid. A little of that now splashed on me. It was unexpected, but on the whole I was glad to hear it. All the fight hadn't gone out of him after all, it seemed. "No," he said. "I'm taking Melinda out square dancing. We're going to do-si-do, all-a-mon left, and then tell the fiddler he's a rooster dick motherfucker." I clapped my hand over my mouth to keep from laughing. Mercifully, it was an urge that passed in a hurry. "I'm sorry," he said. "I haven't been getting much sleep lately. It's made me grouchy. Of course we're going to be home." "Why do you ask?" It doesn't matter, I guess, I said. You weren't thinking of coming by, were you? Because if you were on last night, you'll be on tonight. Unless you've switched with somebody? No, I haven't switched, I said. I'm on tonight. It wouldn't be a good idea, anyway. Not the way she is right now. Maybe not. Thanks for your news. You are welcome. Pray for my Melinda, Paul. I said I would, thinking that I might do quite a bit more than pray. God helps those who help themselves, as they say in the Church of Praise Jesus, the Lord is mighty. I hung up and looked at Janice. How's Melly? She asked. Not good. I told her what Hal had told me, including the part about the swearing, although I left out cocksucker and rooster dick motherfucker. I finished with Hal's word, sinking, and Jan nodded sadly. Then she took a closer look at me. What are you thinking about? You're thinking about something, probably no good. It's in your face.